crested the wave of workload, and we're really, kind of coasting downhill in a way. We've got so much work already done on these recordings that are coming up. But I get the impression that there also is probably some substantial fatigue, which is probably because of all of our lives, right? It's not just because of the virtual SoCo stuff. So what I want to do is remind you, this is our last Sunday sectional. So your workload for week to week in terms of time in front of a computer for this reason is going to plummet. And again, our repertoire workload, like we're well over the crest, right? We are, I mean, the stuff you're going to be recording here for Hanukkah is stuff we've been working on for a while, which is great. But I think based on what I've seen and heard tonight, we're going to focus on the things that I want to get done. And if we get those things done a little early, that's okay. Okay. So, I'm very excited about the Thanksgiving postcard. I think you'll agree it's just beautiful. There's so many good things about it. One of the nerd things that your director thinks about, my favorite moment of the whole postcard is the final retard of Thanksgiving Song, where all you virtual people in your own little place sound like you're in a room singing together. The retard is so beautiful. It's so consistent throughout the ensemble. It's done so very well. I mean, it's a little nerd thing, but I really, really love that moment. So I'm sure you will enjoy what you hear, feel proud of it. But like I said, if we finish it a little early tonight, that's okay. And this will be our last Sunday, and hopefully we can find a way to rejuvenate a little bit. In fact, we're just going to dive right in. Okay, everything is going to be fine for range and all that. We're just going to dive right in. We're going to be in Christmas all night. We've done so much on Hanukkah. We'll do a little bit more on Tuesday. But let's just dive right in with Christmas. And I want to start with Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. We're going to focus on the barbershop stuff tonight, since it's complicated and a lot of it is due here soon. So here we are, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. I want to make sure that we get some details in there. I did not do a very good job preparing this score. I don't know why. I spent a lot of time, but there's a couple things I forgot to mark, or I forgot to really, kind of bring to your attention. So we're going to talk about a few of those things as we go through this. But let's start. I want to work backwards. So we're actually going to start over on page 5. Let's start on page 5. And we're going to go to the end. Let's sing through it once with me on the piano. I'll then give you a couple of things I want you to pay attention to. But I think if we sing through it once, it'll give you some reference. So here's page 5, measure 29. Sounds like this. Etc. 49. Just on text, you see there. 1, 2, go. split there at that one moment. So the couple of things I want to point out is at the bottom of page 5, where you say, if the fates are low. Two little details for you. Please have a little space at the comma. If the fates are low, fates are low. Think of it like an eighth note, eighth rest. Again, I should have brought, there's a comma there. It's repeated text, but we haven't spent enough time together yet. And I don't know how you may have handled it in the past, but please make sure there's a little space, okay? And I mean, there's no additional time, it's right in time, but think of it like an eighth note, eighth rest. The other detail I want to mention is only for the altos. And that is, remember, same measure, you have a half note on the word allow. Everybody else moves on beat 4. So you have to wait for them to move. Please don't breathe on beat 4. You have to wait for the end of 4. If the fates are low, fates are low. And I'm thinking, fates are 3, 4. Okay. That's a really good habit, right? Look up and down the score. Is somebody moving? Do I need to wait for them? So we can have that harmony sound. The other thing, same idea, is over, wait, is it in this section or no? That may be the only time. Yes, good. So that's the only thing that I wanted to make sure I was clear about. Everything else I think in this section is already on the score. Do you have any questions about this? Page 5 to the end. Any questions about what we just sang through? Good, that's fine. Let's back up, please, to the B section, which is the middle section here on page 4. Technically, the middle section begins at measure 21 when you have the melody. I've mentioned this in the past, but let me mention it again. Make sure you connect. Here is a comma we're going to sing through. Usually we take commas. Once again, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. So sing through that comma. Connect that whole melody. The other thing I want to remind you about is at the top of 4, measure 20, there is a little accelerando there. Notice 21 says più mosso, more motion or faster is a similar way to think of it, the easier way to think of it. So 20, there's a slight accelerando, miles away once. So the downbeat of 21 actually arrives slightly earlier than you might expect it because we're getting a little faster. If we were all singing in the room together, we wouldn't have to have this dissertation, but because we're stuck with a recording that we all have to sing to, right? That's why I'm making a big deal of this. Because even as
Rob,
yeah, go ahead.
Real quick, there's a little comma at the top. So do we do a little breath and then go in? Is that like a quick pause or?
Yeah, no, it's a breath, Holly. Yes, you're exactly right. It's a breath, but there is no pause for it. Again, there's an accelerando here. So like the soprano 2s, miles away. Ooh. So yeah, so that's why I'm pointing this out, is because there isn't a pause. Okay, this kind of builds into the next section. Again, if we were all in the same room, we wouldn't have to talk about it so much. I apologize. But the other little detail is just like we talked about before. You have a half note, right? Miles away. You got to wait for the soprano 2s to move. Then you have a chance to breathe. But it's a quick eighth note, guys. It's a quick eighth note. So kind of listen to that part with the recording and the video, just so you kind of get used to what that feels like. Because again, the downbeat of 21 comes a little faster than you may think. So let's do this middle section, but let's start at measure 20, just so we can kind of pretend a little bit like we're looking at that. So here's measure 20. sing together or go over to the top of 5? Miles away. Carry. Etc. Etc. So the B section, page 4, is definitely the trickiest stuff we have from a harmonic standpoint. All this stuff at the bottom of the page. The good news is you keep doing the same thing. Faithful friends who were dear to us will be near to. Keep going the same notes. But do you have any questions about that moment?
I'm going to be honest with you. I am very familiar with this song. It's one of my favorite Christmas songs.
Mhm.
It's going to be hard. It's like a mental like
Oh,
break.
yeah.
Because I'm used to singing every harmony but this lower harmony.
Yeah, sure. No, I
So-
understand. Yeah. That's, yeah. With popular music, the trick is always to sing the version we have, right? Right. No, I get it. I totally get it.
It's going to be a mind over matter for the alto 1s and 2s, I think.
Okay.
I would like to hear that one more time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. No, absolutely. Let's do that same thing at the top of 4. Obviously, when we get to 21, that's the melody you know. So the focus being on 25, but let's get into it. So here we are at the top of 4 again. Miles away. With that little accelerando, which is hard to hear in your part. Here we go. One of the reasons why I keep going into that next section, one thing I want to say generally about this piece is it's very easy at the beginning of these sections to rush our first quarter note. Someday soon. So we don't want to rush that quarter note. It helps to subdivide our mind. Don't wait to think eighth notes until you have to sing them. Those eighth notes will make our quarter notes line up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So all throughout this piece, whenever we're reestablishing tempo at the beginning of a section, make sure we're really focused on how long a quarter note is, okay? So you can listen to the recording, you can watch the conducting. Before we leave this section, let's take a peek one more time at 25. So here we are at the bottom of 4. And again, notice how you kind of do the same thing over and over. A little motive, E flat C B. Keep doing, which is great, right? Faithful friends who are dear to us will be near to us. So, yeah, we did that a couple, 3 times. Is that getting a little more comfortable? Okay.
And then just stagger breathing through that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Once again, as in olden days. Yeah, that'll be too long a phrase, probably. 25 will be too long a phrase to carry on your own. Definitely just stagger breathe. And again, leave out a note, right? Faithful friends who were dear to us will be near to us once more. Breathing in rhythm and leaving out a note is very helpful. Let's go back to the beginning. I'll have a couple more little brief notes to point out, and then we'll do the whole thing with the video. So here we are at the beginning. It starts like this. Your part though, etc. Here we go. 1, 2. Pause for a moment. You probably know the two things I'm going to point out because it was the exact same thing we pointed out in the last section of the piece, I mean. So if you look at page 2, the last measure, where you repeat light, be light, please make that the downbeat of the last measure an eighth note, eighth rest. Let your heart be light, be light. Next. Okay. And again, you got to wait for the moving line, right? Just like we talked about. The other exact same idea is on page 3 in the middle. Measure 16. After the word gay, make that an eighth note, eighth rest. Make the Yuletide gay. Ooh. Next. So it's that same idea, right? Good. Any questions about this? Because of all the push and pull, I do want to do it once with the video. So I've got that pulled up. And let me share. Bernie, do you know what's going on with this? Host disabled participant screen sharing. I just logged on like I always do.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen that one before.
Who's the host on this one?
Should be me.
It should be you. Oh, Rob, you're as yourself. Like it, unless you changed the name.
I didn't. Oh, I guess I am. I didn't even notice that. Well, I signed up on all this like I always do. I'm not sure what happened.
I wonder who the host is.
When I click the participants, there's a little thing that says claim host. So maybe Rob can just
Claim it.
Yeah, that's a quick and easy fix here. Participants. All mine says is invite. Okay, this actually happened in the last session, although I thought I had logged in better.
Rob, why don't you click the actual people icon in that participants, not the arrow.
I clicked it, and all it gives me is a list over to the right.
Yeah, you should look at, there should be a choice of claim host at the very bottom of that list.
Where the 3 dots are. So you have invite, mute me, and then you have 3 little dots.
Oh, enter the host key to claim host role.
Oh, gee.
All right, so this is okay. I actually thought I had got this fixed because there was a little glitch logging in for the last session. It's okay. No big deal. We've gotten the work done on this that I want to do. You have access to the video all the time. I'll see if I can get this fixed before the next one. So with this piece, trust what you hear, trust what you see, indulge in the push and pull, and really go for that, okay? It's a little harder in the virtual world, but that's what makes this piece beautiful. So every 2 measures, almost every 2 measures, there's some sort of a little thing, okay? There's a reason why we waited until the end to do this kind of music. Thanksgiving song, the retard at the end shows you can do this beautifully. This is just a piece where you have to do a lot more of it. So really go for that stuff, and you'll be fine. Any questions on this before we move on? Okay, cool. Let's go please to the Holiday Jazz Trio. Holiday Jazz Trio. I just want to go through these. You tell me that these things are sitting pretty well with you, which is great. I just want to keep them fresh. Obviously, this is in our next set of recordings, so I don't think we need to kind of beat this dead horse, but I do want to keep it fresh. So here we are. Let It Snow. We'll go through these 3 in order. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. I don't know about you, but I put a little hip into that last page. Snow, let it 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 snow. Luckily, you can't see how ridiculous I would look putting that hip into it. But yeah, I mean, and certainly when you're recording this, it's okay to move a little bit. You know what a little jazz quartet would be doing, a little barbershop quartet would be doing in real life, right? Think about all the great USO shows, right, for the troops, especially of decades past. This would be absolutely a style they would include, right? So obviously I can't do the slides on the piano, so make sure you're enjoying those moments. Your slides aren't quite as long as the sopranos, but they're still important. And since we've no place to go, and since, any questions about this one? Good, that makes me happy, guys.
Well, actually, Rob, I was gonna question on just on 17 when we sing "Oh, the fire is slowly dying," since that's different from "Oh, the weather outside is frightful." Can you play that one part, "Oh, the fire is slowly dying," for me one more time?
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. It is different. Here it goes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Before you did this. And now you just kind of fill in that step. You get to the same place. Oh, the fire is slowly dying. Yeah. Yeah, but definitely make a note of that. It is different. Any other questions? No? Okay, good. Let's go on, please, to I'll Be Home for Christmas. So this one is in the same category as I'll Be Home for Christmas. It's a ballad, And it does have these are the two with the most push and pull of tempo. I think this score is pretty clear about what you do when, any early releases you have, that kind of thing. But let's go through this. Here's our starting chord. And I'm conducting in 2, so here we go. 1, go. Yeah. Questions? Or is this right in your wheelhouse? And if it is, that's fantastic. Okay, we may have to do a whole concert of Barbershop, or at least like a substantial portion. So again, just like Have Yourself, trust what you see, trust what you hear, and really enjoy the push and pull of tempo, because that's what makes it interesting. I mean, the harmonies are great too, but definitely we want to move together as much as possible. Let's go please to Jingle Bell Rock. We've talked about this one quite a bit. Certainly, this one is this nice blending of some of the issues we talk about and other pieces, these final consonants. They don't have to be aggressively loud, but in this piece, these final consonants are really important. The T's and the K's that come in, especially on the last page. Bottom of page 7 going into page 8 then. You have your wonderful moment of melody, so definitely bring that out. I'll do my best to keep reminding the other voices to quiet down their doots, okay? All right, here we go. Here's the opening chord. Worth reminding, right at the very beginning, the second measure, Jingle Bell Rock. It's not Jingle Bell Rock. It's short. Jingle Bell Rock. That's why the black line's there. So that's an early release. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, go.
doot doots, or were you doing the melody? Were we supposed to doot doot along with your melody?
You're alto ones, right? You are the melody.
We are? Okay. Well, then that's on me.
Did you do it in your recording?
No, I haven't. No, I jumped down to the doot doots because we're always the doot doots. I'm sorry.
We're
That
used to
was-
being doo-doo.
This is
We are
your
used to that.
shining moment. This is alto ones. Here's your moment. Yeah.
I'm so used to doing it. I just went down. I swear, I just went down to the doot doots. I was like, that's not us. He's playing the wrong.
Kara,
I'm so
I just-
sorry.
Kara, I just saw a man stealing your baby behind you. Is that okay?
He's
I
on the move.
There's a grown man carrying an infant. I want to make sure that everything's on the up and up.
Yeah, he's allowed in. But I had a question for to rock the night away. We're going down. I'm sorry if this was said before, but we're going down on way.
Yeah, I mean, I think for that brief moment, to rock the night away. I mean, that's the melody people know. I mean, I think an F sharp is not going to kill you for, but yeah, no, if it's just flat out uncomfortable, you're welcome to take it up the octave. But if you don't mind sneaking down, getting a little husky, that'll be fine.
Okay.
Because again, that's the melody everybody knows, right? Yes. So I will add this to the list of instructions. Let's see. Sing the right words. Sing your part. Right. That's good. All right. So anything else with this? Now that we've addressed that issue, anything else with this? Yeah. Good. The piece just got a lot more fun for the alto ones, right? So good. Okay. So I'm going to see if I can get somehow re-signed into Zoom so I can do some things with the next two people, the next two sectionals. So we're going to be done here in about 30 seconds, and that's okay. See if you can take some time, relax. Remember, this is our last Sunday. We're moving only to Tuesdays as we continue to release repertoire, right? As we continue to get recordings done, you're not going to be kept on here in rehearsal just for the sake of saying we sat here and stared at each other. So your time is going to continue to dovetail, okay? So that's great. So see if you can kind of remind yourself of, hey, this is why I love this group. Go grab yourself a little glass of scotch, say the next 12 minutes are on SoCo, I'm going to enjoy myself, okay? All right, so I'm going to hang up so I can see if I can get logged in better. So I will talk to you all Tuesday night. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Watch the premiere tonight if you can.
Yeah, it's incredible. Watch the premiere.
It's so good. 8 o'clock.
Awesome.
See ya.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
See ya.
Hi, Sharon. Bye, Sharon.
Bye. Bye. I'm slow.
Oh, you and me both, sister. I love seeing you though.
I know. Hey, I have a real quick question for you.
Okay, if we don't get cut off. Yes, ma'am.
Is Sean going to be?
Did we get cut off?
Is Sean, can you hear me? You can't
Wait.
hear me?
Oh no, I can hear you now. What is it?
Was
What's
Sean
your
going to be included in next season?
Oh, I think there's a plan for him to be. I don't think there isn't a plan. Not that I'm aware of.
Well, see, that's what I put in that question. I said I really like the swivel, but it would really be wonderful if Sean played and you directed.
I actually asked the same question. So let's see if that is answered. But yes, believe me, I think I'm there with you, but that's not up to me. It's like, but I know everyone knows we love Sean, but I asked that same question.
Good. Well, great minds think alike.
And plus we all miss Sean, right?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Love you.
I love you, Sharon. I never get to say it. Bye. Oh, why am I